Something on. Got a couple things to do. Hello? Someone finally on? Morning, Bob. Oliver. Morning. Sorry, I'm starting a water change. Something. Too much stuff. Too much stuff. Morning. It's freezing. I'm allergic to winter. Still. Anyway. Oh. Too much. Too much. Anyway. Late start. Howie didn't want to get up this morning. I get up. Did sleep good. I fall asleep on the couch with Howie. Maybe 8, 9, whatever. A couple hours. Then I end up going to bed. Fish family, what up? 11, 12 o'clock. Then sometimes I'm stuck awake. Got a stupid phone. Then sleep for a couple hours. Then old man pee time, like 2, 3 times. Too much on my mind. My mind thinks too much. A lot going on. Where's everybody? Why does it only say I have one person? There's 3 of you. I don't understand YouTube. I don't want all this technology bullshit. I want to get away from technology. I'm at the point I want to go opposite direction. Just enough to know things. That's it. Let's see, what's up? Very cold outside. I thought it was supposed to be sunny in the 20s. It said 19 in the van, but it feels like 19 below with the wind chill, I guess. So it's cold, but the roads are clear. Side streets around Cleveland, so. I think we're not going to have snow for a little bit. Rain's coming. It's going to be in the 40s by the end of the week. So, I'm ready for spring. Like, so much now. But I got so much to do in the next 2 months, 3 months. So, working on getting the building cleared out at Broadview. Man, that's a major job. So, I'm going to be there today, 12 to 3 o'clock, 12 to 3 p.m. at 4873 Broadview Road. That's Old Brooklyn 44109. I got a boatload of 10-gallon tanks, mostly with the built-in filters in the back, like on the racks over here. They work great. I've been using them for years and years and years. Love the things. Dang. That's cool. We don't sell feeder fish. They're usually, ick and have viruses and pathogens or whatever. They're just, we haven't sold feeders in 10, 15 years now, maybe. A long time. We do night crawlers, Canadian night crawlers, red wigglers, and then frozen food. Once in a while, I get ghost shrimp in as a treat. So I got my big puffer. Well, I got another puffer now in the dojo next door in the 265, a little spotted Congo puffer. So, yeah, I mean, when I used to get feeders in, I would get some oddball stuff in there. It could be a native Florida fish or something. Could be a bass or something. I don't know. We raise it up. We've taken stuff. We've had flagfish in there. I think a Florida killie. Then you get those freaking weird bugs. Kind of like a treat. So, anyway, try to get the building cleared out over there. There's a ton of tanks. I mean, I'm hopefully today's gonna be busy. I had quite a few messages, but Facebook Marketplace is 9 out of 10 times a joke, retards, whatever. Don't show up. So that's why I do the 12 to 3 usually on Saturdays right now, just to open up and whoever comes. But Someone's supposed to look at one of the Curlic setups, the 90-gallon flatback hex. So I have the 70. I got the 165 bi-level. I have the 375-gallon, the cylinder tank, and then lots of glass tanks. I think there's 11 35 cubes left. Maybe 655s, a couple 20s, a 33 long. I'm surprised that one hasn't been sold because that's not a common tank anymore. And all tanks are expensive now, new. Um, a 40 breeder that leaks. I think somebody's coming to get that for a lizard today. Might be getting that one. That one might be sold. 40 bucks. 10-gallon tanks with the filters are like $15. You buy 10 for 120. You buy them all, go to 10 bucks a piece. There might be 50 of them. I don't know exactly the number. Um, and then what else? The counter over there. It's custom built counter, 8 foot by 2 foot, by probably what 3 foot tall. Glass shelves on the back, front and back. It's in 2 parts. There's a full top, and then it splits in half, which makes it easier to move around. So what else? The wood, custom wood shelving, solid wood, double back, those, and some pallet racks. So a couple sets of those. Yep, and then there's some used sponge filters. Then there's some new stuff still, some filter media, some decor. It's like 50% off. It's all cash sales over there. No holds. Pick up and go. Buy, pick up, take it, and get out. So, yeah, 12 to 3 today. Here, we're open 11 to 5. The little main store. Something Fishy 2.0. I got to check this water. Hold on. Oh, vac. Need a vacuum out the plant tank. That brings up last Saturday, overflowed the sink. I was cleaning those last 3 10-gallon tanks that had live plant and it was shrimp, which there's still some shrimp in those stupid tanks and a little bit of water. I got to try to get out today. But all the crap build up because they haven't been maintained, clogged up the screen and the drain, and the freaking tub overflowed. So gotta be careful when you're cleaning like plant tanks because it leave litter, dead matter, whatever, get stuck in your, clog up your sink, and then you have a mess. So I'm gonna get the old school siphon, go in there and suck the crap out and get it in here and then throw it in the back. I went put it in the toilet leader. Don't want to clog up the toilet. Like that hasn't happened before. But Happy New Year's. Bad boys and toys. Cool. People coming and going. What else? Yep, 11 to 5. The last day for Extreme. 20% off. We got freeze-dried foods, 30% off. That will continue. The Kari's 20% off. What else? Resin decors. James, morning. 50% off with cash, and with credit cards, 40% off. So some deals. The live plants are buy one get one free. So yeah, come and buy something, something, something. What else? Clear 20 so only 25 bucks, and Clear 50 is $35. Oh, I do have some rants. Annoying customers, if you want to call them that. I don't know. People, I guess I didn't, of course some of these people don't say stuff, or it doesn't happen like when I'm here. I don't know. Maybe they know I'm the owner, or I just look like FAFO. Fuck around and find out. Um, Stem plants. Yeah, if you don't, some of that stuff is CO2 needed, whatever, or it's established tank and a base, whatever. If that stuff dies, it's yeah, it sucks. I'm not a plant guy. I mean, I'm a Nubius, Java Fern, and Cryptocara. Karen's like I know that stuff. I've been keeping on and off for years. Nubius, I've been keeping for the last 40 years probably. It's hardy, hard to kill, medium, low, light, not fancy. That's me. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. But yeah, some of the people that come in here, I guess this guy was one that was giving us a hard time on prices on fish. He bought like um, 15 tiger barbs, whatever. But then he leaves the door open. Much netter, better. uh, and yeah, and then another Yahoo that lives around here came in last week. Um, uh, they just set up the tank or something. So many people, all of a sudden, there's people setting up tanks or getting back in it or never had a tank. Interestingly, and I usually don't go to PetSmart or Petco or Pets by Plus. Most not say 99% of the time, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. I don't care if they have a 5-year warranty on their fish. If they're sick, they're sick. They're just a revolving door, whatever. They run on systems that they're not really maintained, and it just circulating systems that spread out disease, parasites, pathogens, and whatever, viruses, especially ick. But yeah, I sent him. Palm Street Fish Edition. Yeah, people, it's like anybody knows I'm very competitive. I've been in this a very, very long time. If you didn't know, well, the hobby like 48 years, industry 40, my business 34 plus, and I've been around all over the place. Auction. Um, there's yeah, I see some of the prices online. Some people will send me something like the OB craze now. OB everything. OB phenos. OB or Lawanda. Hundreds of dollars. Oh, Steve. PetSmart, Petco making aquariums close. Aquarium stores close. The independents. They could be part of it. I'm not, in Chicago, but in my take, they usually make me look good, and I've had many send customers to me because they're not good at usually the fish part of the business. They're dominating dog and cat, grooming and services, whatever, all that stuff, and down the line. Um, but there's other factors why a lot of businesses, not just this. Type of business, but other businesses, restaurants, independents. They talk, on the news about, the big players, the chains owned by, Wall Street, whatever, shutting down 100 stores this year, or whatever. Starbucks, with all that stuff. They don't usually bring up the mom and pop shops, what percentages. They might not even really know as much because we're not a public company, basically, traded company. so it's not you know going to your shareholders, and it has to be documented and all that stuff. Whatever. But what I'm getting to is the cost of doing business has gotten so high, and most businesses, especially discretionary type spending business, yes, sometimes it's worth the extra 10, 20% maybe. Like I bought those rummy nose and the Cardinals. I paid more than I would cost me to ship them in. I didn't have to buy as many as 200, 400, 500, and risk losing them all, or they half dead and then dead by the end of the week or something. So sometimes it's somebody's like $6. It's like, well, lose $5,000 in them, and let me know how $6 sounds. Hey, thanks, Fish Fam Link. Appreciate that. I don't blurt that out usually. Sometimes here and there, or I don't know. I'm not a techie. I'm an old grumpy old man, fish dude. But back to the business world. It's my insurance is like doubled, which I called them over the holidays, which was fruitless. So Monday they're on top of the list of calling because I don't have I'm insured for inventory a lot, like 4 or 5 times more than what I have now. Um, I've been reducing inventory like crazy last year, and now I'm trying to blow out inventory. I'm not going to carry hardly any dry goods. The fish, basic supplies, food, water conditioner, medicines. I'm not carrying tanks no more. Filter media I'll carry, stuff that people I call consumables that buy on a regular basis, and I'm competitive price. Some people I'm better priced than even Amazon. Amazon's not always that cheap. When I go back to the effectiveness, what's affecting us small businesses is our overhead is ridiculously cost more, and depending on your area, the labor cost, minimum wage is like crazy. So um, the cost of doing business is much higher. Then the dry goods, everything else, the supplies, everything else costs more. So if your business is not doubled, which majority have not, you're just getting by. You're breaking even maybe, or starting to lose money, and if you're, I'm lucky because I own my own buildings. Shipping costs are astronomical. Like, and that's my thing is when COVID was a game changer, negativity to a lot of things, and we're still feeling the effects of that, in my opinion. That's why I bought too much inventory during COVID. We were allowed to be open, couldn't get stuff. They kept raising prices, so I was buy. I was buying everything I could, and we were booming retail wise. Service business took a 75% hit because all the nursing homes, daycares, and stuff closed. Um, but Lose a train of thought. See, getting old sucks. Um, but the cost of doing everything, and the cost of everything's cost more, and business has not kept up with the increases. So I had to go to my insurance, and I need my insurance knocked down. I don't even have the other building anymore. I mean, I have the building; it's not sold yet, but um, so I got to try to hammer them. I'm fighting with the utility companies, which is anybody knows is just a racket, another corruption entity in the country. So, um, yeah, it's nuts. So it's hard to beat in business, especially a small business owner. But I own my buildings, so luckily I'm not tied to some rent lease. And depending on where you're at, you go in some of these high end areas, you're $15, $25 a square foot plus a triple net lease or cam charges. In case you guys don't know what those are, triple net lease or cam charges is they tack on more money, like another dollar a square foot, or a monthly um, fee to pay for outside maintenance, which is nice. The plowing, garbage pickup, um, security, lights outside, because that's usually tied into the whole complex or something like that. And so you pay for all that extra stuff on top of your rent that you have, whatever store or building. So that shit adds up. I mean, the high end areas, 1,000 square foot store, which is small, is bigger than this actually. Um, you're paying $2,000 maybe a month for a small space, and then your utilities, like mine are, I'm bringing them down, fighting to get them down. We average about 2,000 a month. I'm trying to get. I want to get, if I get rid of that building and cut everything, then to reduce everything. Um, I'm hoping to be down like 1,000 a month. Um, then insurance is a whole nother freaking. That's a racket. Um, so that's almost 600 a month. But oh yeah, that happens. I had a customer, Bob. I don't know if Bob's still on here. He shipped twice, and they were dead, like shrimp or something. Paid $50 shipping. That's same with us, and you guys are minimal. Like when I ship in, I haven't imported in months. I haven't imported from Asia since the tariffs and all that, or like South America. Brazil was like 35%. Beijing, Indonesia, all that's like 35% on top of already the expense. Usually before the tariffs, Bangkok, Indo, I think, averaged about $500 a box in all freight costs to land to me in Cleveland, Ohio. By the time it lands to me, makes a stop, hits customs, transshipping, this and that, and all this, it averages $500 a box, and usually it's a 2 box minimum. So I automatically have $1,000 in shipping cost. I could actually have $500 worth of cheap fish in the boxes, and I'm paying 1,500, 1,000, and then all that stuff dies, or it's dead, sick. That's why I'm like tired of the business. That's one aspect. Be tired of people, no offense. Become more anti-human and more about nature, getting out. That's why I can't wait to spring. Um, I'm kind of worn out, whatever, and it just everything that has to do with the business is ridiculous. I mean, I when I have dead fish, it just, and that's not often. I mean, we're pretty good, especially cichlids are hardy, don't have too many issues. But that importing or get something sometimes out of Florida or whatever, it's like, would I have better odds taking $1,000, $2,000? And I've said this to some of the biggest players out there to their faces. I said I'd be better off taking my $2,000 to the casino, maybe having better odds than buying fish from you. Yeah, I ruffle some feathers and push some buttons, I guess, but it's not frivolous or not true. It's stating facts. And, here on the front lines, we take a beating, cost. I mean, the suppliers and stuff take. I know a lot of people tried doing the wholesale part of the business. Yeah, you can't. That's a revolving door. I learned that early on in business. Another one in the business, we decided to try this outfit out. There's been a few cases early on, learning lessons, and you don't know everybody. Back in the day, there was few hundred registered farmers in Florida. Florida was the dominant player, but then you had little outfits, backyard, whatever. This is before internet. You're talking, early '90s, whatever, mid '90s maybe. I had my first pet shop was in 1992. I started service business before that, but we went and it was like they weren't exactly what we ordered. The sizes weren't right on some things. There was dead fish, and back then I think it was a $500 minimum order with that particular outfit. Oh, and we got it off a trade magazine. They advertised in the back of a trade magazine, Cichlid Farmer or whatever, right from the breeder, blah blah blah, You could write and post all the shit you want and act like you're god of whatever you're selling or doing, and still be full of shit. So that's the thing with the internet. Anybody can be anything. I said that for years. Someone could say, "Oh, I got 10,000 square feet." They're full of shit. They could be just flipper, just buying and selling, flipping stuff, and acting like they're some tycoon or big outfit or whatever. So yeah, and it was bitch, and like so we had $100 worth of dead stuff out of the $500 wholesale, but to get that $100 credit, we had to buy another $500. I had that happen a couple, and I realized on a couple occasions, some of the outfits, I actually think they were sending me purposely bags of dead fish. You're getting screwed. So I want that $100 credit. I had to spend another $500. Well, guess what? There's another $1,500 dead fish. So guess what? I gotta buy another $500 worth of fish to get my credit. It's like, wait a minute, this is ridiculous. Yo, um, yeah, I learned the hard way, and I'm like, screw. I just you learn you got cut off some players out there. So the shipping companies, I hate the airlines. I hate them all. I mean, I like the guys at the airport, whatever, but it's they're just kind of peons in the bigger scheme of things. But sometimes they've tried to help ways, but yeah, Southwest is usually the best. But they screwed me over a couple times last year, and it's next flight guaranteed. NFG, which is supposed to be on that flight, it was on a flight, and then it got left in Nashville or Chicago or some bullshit. Didn't get on the plane. Well, that's why I'm paying 20-40% higher freight cost instead of ground, so I get the guaranteed fish on the next flight and get to me. But they'll say, well, it didn't meet back and forth with emails that it whatever criteria, whatever. They'll use Mother Nature or whatever, but someone else tells me it was somebody forgot to put it on the plane or it got bumped or whatever. It's not supposed to be held or bumped. I'm paying more money, like insurance, which is also all insurance companies are all fraud. It's all a scam, a racket. It's all about profit, and that's the whole thing. Yep, I've heard just about every excuse. So that's why support your local fish stores. What's left? I mean, it's the end result. You're just going to be Petco, PetSmart, Pets by Plus, the three biggest players in the industry. So people don't want to do that anymore, James. Accountability. I've shipped many times. I've shipped as far as Hawaii, not out of the country, but I have a conscience. I have I don't know the word, but I don't like being screwed over. So why would I want to screw somebody over? Unless somebody's like purposely screwing me over, then F them. Then I want to screw them. I want to pound them into the cement or something. But I want well, I don't want to hear bitching. I don't want to hear complaining. So that's why I'm pretty anal about my stock. I don't want anything going out of here. If there's a problem, we're not selling it. All our tanks are individually run. So 99.9% of the time, there's nothing wrong with our livestock. Once it goes out the door, it's out of our control. But I want to sleep at night. I don't want to avoid trying to be the bad guy or whatever. I mean, I don't know how people purposely just, scam, screw people over. It's like you have no self discipline, self worth, whatever. You're a sleazeball. And I always talk about the scammers. Man, the phone calls the last 6-7 weeks between here, the store phone, just bombarded with robocalls for what cost the A and B plan for Medicaid, Medicare, and then another one on my approved business loan, which I never did because I don't need a business loan. And oh my gosh, yeah. And I hate when they do it because there's suckers out there. Unfortunately, like elderly people. That's why I always worry about my mom. My uncle almost got taken a handful of years ago, and the bank teller questioned it, and it's like, Mr. Hale, something don't sound right. Why don't you call your nephew? Said he was in jail, whatever, and needed bail money, and he had to do the survey check, or some kind of craziness. Yeah, I mean, that's I was just complaining on the beginning of the show here is some yahoos that come in here cheap. Like I guess he complained about our prices before. The guys told me, he said that's the guy. Like I'm not always here when all these people. If I'm here, shit's gonna hit the fan. I'd kick him out. I don't put up with anybody's bullshit anymore. I'm done with that. Way over it. So you give us a hard time, give me a hard time, whatever. I'll try to be civil and explain. And yep, just yeah. There's always another somewhere else to get fish somewhere, or whatever it is you're buying, mostly. Um, yeah, and then another Yahoo. And you end up buying the filter because you can't buy. It's $55 online. I'm 60 and I have it for $35. You can't. So they'll come in here just mumbling bull crap, complaining or whatever. And that was I was talking about earlier. The 3 fish died. Like he calls like 5 days later and says fish, 3 fish, the starter fish, died within 2 hours. And trying to talk to this guy was like talking to a brick wall. I agree, James. Same here. Good morning, Vaughn. We got a few people on. Woohoo! I got 5 thumbs up. Anyway, so I'm ranting about things, and someone brought up a lot of stores are closing in Chicago. Chicago's got to be really expensive, depending, I guess, where you're at. But the overhead costs, that's why mom and pop shops are, I say, struggling more and more. Not just in this business, other types of businesses. I know some local, not in this business, whatever, but I know people in this business are here for the grapevine. They're not doing great. We've been slow. The last few months has been horrible. Yep, so slow. And then the move didn't help. Not having the stupid credit card machine for a month. That was a blow. I pushed the cash. Like the internet was down. Good old Spectrum. All day. It didn't come on until 1:30 in the morning. They did send a message to be on 5. We close at 5. So now I'm going to talk to those. Oh, I got to put that on my to-do list. Call Monday. Spectrum, which is useless. They're horrible. I hate AT&T. Although anybody that has fiber with AT&T, I never heard one complaint about it. Works flawlessly. But Spectrum, I can't stand them. And last year, there was a couple times it was out, and we could lose $500 in sales, maybe $1,000 on a weekend. And it's happened like 2 Saturdays. And after the second time, I'm like, people come in. Some people went to a machine somewhere and got money across the street or something and went to the bank. But a lot of people don't. They left, don't come back. So we lost sales. And after the second time, as I called Spectrum last year, I'm like, I want compensated credit, whatever. They were going to give me like 80 cents, 85 cents or something. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I said, I'm probably lost up to $1,000, and you want to give me 85 cents. Well, based on the bill by the minute is what we give the credit. It's what a racket. I don't like any of them. Nada. Does anybody have Starlink? Oh, did I miss some? Right. Yeah, that's the kind of reputation you don't want. Yeah, Mike. The yes, I treat. Um, I said this for years to my help. Anybody that's helped me. Um, and I learned, obviously early on. I started in business when I was 22. I'm gonna be 57. Um, I deal with all walks of life. That's one thing I always thought was cool about this hobby, particularly. Um, there's a lot of people of all different um, sizes, shapes, religions, whatever, nationalities, color, whatever it is. I actually had a painting I bought at the mall once. It said honor diversity. It was like it wasn't big. It was dolphins and like sharks and sea turtles. It was like a saltwater painting. I always thought that was cool because I thought that was like the hobby, you know, that there's a unisons of people, different diversities in the in this hobby, which was always cool. Asian, you remember, whatever. So, um, but yeah, the prices. There's a lot more scamming because of the internet. I have a fish friend on the West Coast, whatever, or Texas somewhere. There's a few. I know a lot of people, obviously, and a lot of people know me. But I'll get sometimes they'll send me a link, and I just I'm in just and I'm speechless. What people are paying. Morning, Dale. Um, like $175 for an OB peacock or phenochyla. OB. It's all this OB, all this hybrid stuff. And I was talking to people, like I was talking with the original farmers, old school, brought some of the original African cichlids into the country, the '70s or whatever, and we talked recently, and another friend of mine who's got out of the business, farming, breeding, collecting. It's sad because way it's going, you don't know what you have anymore. It'll be just hybrids, mutts. I mean, I guess there's a place for it of some sort. A lot of people know what they're buying, but there's unbelievable people that sell stuff and say it's one thing and it's another. But the hybrid thing is become a moneymaker, obviously. I see all these people just selling this stuff, and some of the stuff might come from Asia and it's juiced because I even question the color, or it's the camera, the lighting, and they're like, look at this, and it's like that can't be real. And like I am like, if that's that color, that's insane. No wonder somebody's paying $150 for that fish this big, this whatever peacock called it. It's like the dog thing, designer breeds. I agree, James. The hybrid thing is out of control, and the rate it's going, especially when it comes like African cichlids and Malawian cichlids, for sure, and then Central Americans, everything's a parrot of something, or flower horn mix of something. So, but the Malawians it's sad because they'll be gone. The originals might be history, and there's nobody going to be bringing in this stuff wild hardly ever again, in my opinion. It's just too much money, and but it's funny, but the people won't pay for the real stuff a lot of times because it's expensive. We're talking about freight. I know a couple of years ago it's $4.50 a box to bring in Tanganyika. It's if you only have 10 fish in there, or whatever. Well, I mean, on some things you don't, especially when it's babies. I've been taken, I bought something and like peacocks. I told someone the other day I don't even want to take peacocks. I don't. Nobody. I won't because I sold some, keep some, put some on maintenance, and then next thing you know, well, that's not a sunshine peacock. That's like I don't know what that is. A Regal maybe, or it's not, or it's whatever. It's and you can't tell. They bring you a 1 inch fish. I don't know what it is. Same with like some of the haps. Uh, they look alike when they're young, especially peacocks. Peacocks is probably the virus of OBs. You just don't know. I mean, if it's OB at the or Dragon Blood OB or whatever names they have for them now. But it's like designer breed dogs. All dogs are mutts. So they decide to call them designer breeds, Labdoodle, Shih Tzu or whatever. I'm going to charge double the price. But it's like drug dealers. There's users, so there's dealers. Same with the fish stuff and animal world or whatever. Yeah. Hey, Derek. Huh. Yeah, that's hormone food. I've seen that stuff before. Um, and it's crazy to think somebody would buy that. Like if I was an online seller, I'd be sitting a lot better off probably over the years, but I just did not want to make that transition. It's a whole nother animal, with retail and the service business and then my other stuff I do in life. It's like committing and dealing with I talk about there's enough yahoos in Cleveland and Cobb County around here. And you go online, you just expanded that by millions. Idiots, trolls, whatever, just losers and crazy and whatever, and it's like I don't need that hemorrhoid. I'm done. So maybe in the future, I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's a big thing. 'Cause I'm somebody trying to retire. I talked about that yesterday or something. Like, what do I keep? Like, if I have one big tank, like I've had everything just about. I said probably my Samazis. That's what I said. I'd probably just keep. I mean, I like my Zaires and stuff. I maybe keep Group MOBA, but I love my Samazi for Tosas for whatever reason. And it's crazy the amount of people that buy them. Must be nice to have disposable income to buy fish that are 10 times more than what they should be. I 100% agree with that, Derek. Yeah, that's why I said it's like drug dealers. You get a buyer, there's a seller, and I just don't get it. And people that know me are local, semi-local, has been here, and that's why we get a little jaded or a little salty when people complain about our prices. It's like, where are you from? Did you ever go online? Did you see what it costs? The risk to buy online, you have to take off work. Especially in winter, weather sucks. You have to take off work and hope it shows up by noon when it's supposed to, whatever. And if it doesn't, then you got to file a claim with the shipper, which is just going to run you around to death till you give up. I've been there and dealt with that many times. I was going against Delta for a year and finally gave up. And it was like $700, $729. My shipment looked like it was played hockey with the forklifts. That was the last time with Delta, and I didn't want it. I usually Southwest don't have those kind of problems, but Delta, fucking, excuse my language, awesome. A lot of bad people, and a lot of bad things, doing a lot of bad things. So unfortunately, I don't know. I always said if I have a walker, I'll probably have like a 20 long with some shell dwellers or something. Those would be easy, hardy, fun to watch. But I don't know if in the future, I'm not sure. I got a lot of plans, a lot of ideas, and it doesn't really include fish. So, other than I have down to 6 tanks at home. But if I'm traveling, camping out, doing other things, then you got to worry about the livestock. Although you go a week, whatever, most stuff is fine. I don't know. It's gonna come down to decisions what I keep and don't keep eventually. So can't have it all. Not anymore. I'm more happy to take down tanks, empty tanks, than I am to set up. That's like a 360 for years. You're always wanting more tanks, bigger tanks, and squeezing in tanks and wanting more. Even in the business, I just more, bigger, bigger, more. You just up to almost. I think at one point it's either 37,000 gallons or 39,000 gallons I was up to at one point, and that was with about I think 600 tanks, 590 at the most point. It was ridiculous. That's a lot of work, and you need bodies to take care of it all. 37.95. That's it. Oh, sorry. It's entertaining to watch people overpay for fish on auctions. Oh yeah, let them waste their money. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the entrapment of an auction, the competitiveness, trying to outbid. Yeah, um, it's crazy. I've done locals, and I've actually, um, especially in the past when I did more, fish would sell for more money 10 miles, 20 miles away from my store, and as much as double than what I sold the fish here in the store. I remember Black Angels was a hot one. I take bag of 2, 3 small. I had the best breeder, angelfish breeder, and they were like just solid black. And I'd sell them at that time back in the day. Maybe $7 was on the higher end. I get 10 average each. There'd be like $25 for a bag of 3. It was like crazy. Sometimes I'd throw clown loaches at number, and clown loaches would get big money. It was like so weird. I'm like, I don't know. Yep. I don't know. I haven't been on Aquabid in years, but I used to sell on Aquabid here and there. Um, I had fun sometimes doing it. So, but I was pretty damn good at it. There's only one time that I screwed up. I personally screwed up because any of the shipping's all been done by me, packing, whatever. So, Matt in Colorado and another guy, I think in New Jersey. So I had 2 shipments to go out. Um, Matt was getting, I think, some Gara peacocks, some Africans. The other guy was getting some redhead tapajos and something else, like South Americans. Well, I put the boxes, and I accidentally stickered the one going to Colorado for New Jersey, and the New Jersey one for Colorado. And I think it was a guy, I don't remember who that guy was. I sent them their fish. I told them to keep them. So I had to reship the exact same fish to the rightful buyer. So he's like, I think these are African cichlids. These don't look like geophagus. I'm like, oh shit. I effed up. And I fixed it. I said, they're free. Give them away or set up another tank. I don't know. Whatever. They're free. And I covered the shipping. And I shipped them the right fish to each one of them. And so, yeah, that was a dumb mistake. So when I would do any shipping, and don't do that mistake again. You do one box. Do everything, write it down, it's set. Then you go to the next box, trying to do like multiple boxes going to multiple locations can get, and you're like rushing because you're trying to get to the airport by 11 o'clock or whatever before the flight, and you're here 5, 6 in the morning. That's the whole thing about shipping and online. With livestock, it's labor intensive. And I learned early on dealing with people online. I've had people, I'll never forget, one guy's like, can you hold it for 2 weeks till I get my paycheck? I'm like, no. What do you think, I'm a bank? Like stupid shit people would say or ask. You know, oh, they ask for 10,000 pictures. Ask a 10,000 questions. Couple weeks into it. I don't think so. I'm gonna look somewhere else. I just spent hours back and forth answering your questions, sending you pictures, educating you on the fish or whatever, and then you don't buy. That talk about irking, making you more angry. That definitely that pushed my buttons. Yeah, and then you got to pay shipping and freight, $50, $100. Yeah, I've had people complain back out because I'm like, well, give me your zip code, and I give them, airline's the best, but like, unless you're like massively shipping a lot, like 100 boxes a day or something. Well, that's a sticky point. Like I've learned on, and I got kind of probably mean sometimes in the early past. I got tired of people asking questions and go and buy it somewhere else, or they'd ask questions. Let me rewind. I was talking about like people and customers and stuff like that. I've said in the past, and I've said this to many over the years of my business. I said, you never know who walks through that door. They could look like a bum, and then the next day come in, they're in a suit and they're driving a Mercedes or whatever because they're working in the mill, working down in the factory, stealing whatever, and they're gonna look like crap. They look like, oh man, this guy's gonna be a cheap ass or whatever. It's like, oh, he's gonna want 99, whatever. But they come in and ask a couple questions, whatever, and leave. And maybe they couldn't take it with them. Whatever, whatever scenario. This is before even internet. So I said, you never know. And then you got, hopefully the word of mouth. They like realize, hey, treat me like a normal person, whatever. So anyway, but I gotta get off this thing. Almost an hour. Shit. See, I'm gonna have to fire myself. I wish. It's so funny. You have to pay unemployment, all this shit. I always said that my old accountant's now retired. I have a new accountant. It's like, well, can I just lay myself off, fire myself, and talk to employment? Well, it don't work that way, David. I'm like, shit. So, anyway. But, thanks for hanging out. Old 10, 8 thumbs up, cool. I should be back Tuesday, I think. Maybe here, maybe I do over there. I'm going to try to get what I worked on over there today. Hopefully get some stuff sold. I got to get that building cleared out, and I got to get that building sold. I'm hoping April the latest. So, fingers crossed. I need to get that unloaded because it's going to cost me $500, maybe $700 a month for that to sit empty. So, and I'm not getting a storage unit because it probably costs, I don't know, depending on how much is left. It might come to the point, well, I still own it, so it's sold. So it doesn't matter. So I'm stuck. Anyway, well, Happy New Year. If I didn't say that, I didn't say that. Have a good weekend. Stay warm. Up north, Cleveland area, it's freaking freezing. It's supposed to get up to 40 by the end of the week, but we got rain, so it's gonna be yucky. But yeah, I'm allergic to winter. Jeez, I'm ready for spring so much. Go four-wheeling and fishing and kayaking. That's what we're doing. So, all right, y'all take care. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, and I'm out.